Well, welcome back to the Boat Channel. Talk about a couple of things today. Let's see, dog whistles in general, not just racial dog whistles, but dog whistles against the LGBTQ communities. I saw a video today, young boy around 8 years old is dancing in kind of a feminine way. My best friend in 3rd grade is a tomboy, sorry. Very much a tomboy. They used to call her Boss Hog because, you know, we were all in the Dukes of Hazzard back then. It was on the TV all the time, every week, you know, new episodes and reruns. And she would, you know, do all kinds of crazy stunts on her bike and wasn't afraid of nothing. So they called her Boss Hog, and, you know, nobody gave her hell, but myself was a little bit effeminate when I was younger, and my older stepbrother used to give me hell about that and then molested me. That was my mom's second marriage. Well, anyway, this guy's talking about beating a kid with spoons, big plastic wooden spoons and stuff for acting feminine. Nobody said anything about the tomboys, but they're gonna give boys hell for acting a little feminine. I wouldn't be the same person today if I would have been left alone. I wouldn't have the mental issues that I have today if I would have been left alone, just to be me. So, shout out to that kid. I don't, you know, have the video. I don't need to see it again. I already know the dog whistles. The, you know, oh, whatever, he's gay or whatever, ha ha ha. You know, I'm not innocent either. I've got a lot of growth to do, and I raised my sons making all kinds of jokes, you know, because that's how I dealt with life in general. Jokes, laugh. I don't want to tell racial jokes that punch down. Punching down is lazy. Punching down is insulting somebody, and I'd never do that to another race. Punch down like that, at least, you know, I think it's lazy. Punching up is telling a joke about somebody who doesn't look like you that you can tell to them and you can laugh together. You can share in the laughter. You're not laughing at them. If you're laughing at somebody, telling a joke to laugh at them, you're punching down. Don't punch down on people. It's lazy. It's not nice. And if you really want to be funny, work a little harder at your material. Look at the positive things in the culture you're making, you know, a joke about. Or don't make it at all. I'm very proud of my Irish and Scottish. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of mariachi, but musically, it's superior to the bagpipe. Period. It is. And I think that's kind of funny because I love the bagpipe. I mean, it was invented by the Irish. We gave it to the Scots, and they still haven't got the joke. But yeah, the bagpipe was invented by the Irish. I even recently seen some Middle Eastern folks with a bag with pipes. Didn't look like the regular Scottish bagpipes, all fancy with colors and stuff. It was just like a bladder that they put pipes in and sealed it up and blew it up so that they could. It was their own version of bagpipes, and I find that interesting because dairy's huge in the Middle East. Is where dairy started, cheese and all that, and dairy's huge in Ireland and Scotland. So they like dairy. That there's reason to believe that that's where the Irish and Scots originated from, was the Middle East. I wasn't there for sure, but you know, I do know the Greeks called us the Celts. That's where we got called the Celts. It was so over there closer to where the Middle East is. We weren't Greek. We were Celts. There's evidence of Celtic culture throughout Europe, but we got chased basically all the way over there into Scotland, Ireland, Wales, the Cornish Peninsula, Breton, France Peninsula, and the corner right above Portugal is Celtic. On the Iberian Peninsula, right up there in the northeast corner or northwest corner, is Galicia, and it's very Celtic, and they play bagpipes and wear kilts, mostly for traditional sake or whatever. But anyhow, yeah, let people be people. I mean to go on a tirade about, but we need to work on our dog whistles, and we gotta, one lady's going off about Kwanzaa. White lady, how do you wake up in the morning feeling good about yourself, caring enough about another person's holiday to complain about it? Oh, Trump's in office now, and we're gonna have Christmas, not that fake holiday Kwanzaa, she said. Actually it was written above her, she's just pointing it. But yeah, how do you do that? Like, I don't even understand. That doesn't even compute in my head how you can care enough about somebody else's holiday to hate it. It's their holiday. Just let them celebrate their holiday. What is the deal with that? Just let them celebrate their holiday and mind your business. I mean, if you're really that curious, go and ask. Hey, you celebrate Kwanzaa? You want to tell me about it? But don't complain about somebody else not worshiping your holiday or whatever, not following your holiday. And Christmas isn't even Christmas anymore. It's all corporate. It's all for corporate greed. It's just all set up for corporate greed. Look how fast they get all the Christmas stuff out. They've already got Valentine's Day stuff up at the dollar-ish tree the other day. I call it the dollar-ish tree because inflation. Anyway, yeah, I don't even, that doesn't even compute in my head how you're gonna go out of your way to be that much of an asshole about somebody else's holiday. It's not my holiday, so I don't know anything about it except it's more cultural to their culture. Just let them have their culture. Not only just let them have their culture, but embrace the diversity of having people in this country with different cultures. Like, embrace that and love that, because what's wrong with having other cultures, man? What's wrong with we all have wants and desires and heartaches and families that we care about. And we don't just bleed red. We don't just, so in many ways we're all the same. But in many ways we are not the same. And my issue with this whole thing is, why would we want to be the same? Why would we want to be the same? I wouldn't want a world full of rednecks. I'm very happy being a redneck. I don't find pride in putting other people's cultures down. There's no pride in that. So if we're looking for white pride, I don't have it, because there's too many rednecks out there just talking shit about crap they know nothing about. They heard about it, so now they gotta bitch about it, which helps the Republican Party spread more propaganda, more crap talking, more shit talking. None of us gets us anywhere. It's all negative crap. Now, I'll tell some jokes, but I punch up. I don't want to punch down. It don't make no sense to me, but y'all do that, and now people think that rednecks are racist, and that's like synonymous. Rednecks aren't even all white. Look at the Bill Pickett rodeo. I don't care. Rodeo's kind of redneck. I mean, I know the rancheros started it. Some of those Mexicans are kind of redneck. A lot of Mexicans are kind of redneck. Just Bill Pickett rodeo. I was working with a guy. We were working for ProTech, and what we did was the rain would come down on these construction sites, and they've got dirt exposed, so the rain would wash the mud into the creeks and stuff. So we'd collect it before we get into the creeks, because otherwise the job sites would get fined huge. So we got paid really good to do this. Now, most of this was the machines doing the work, and we'd have to go check on the machines. So we'd work for about 20 minutes every hour. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better job. It was hard work when we worked, but we also got to take a 40-minute break every 20 minutes. Like, I could not ask for a better job. But anyway, I get talking to this black fella from Florida, and he lived up in the north part of Florida, out in some country somewhere, and he's telling me he shoots squirrels and possums and rabbits and cooks them up. And I'm like, see, I knew you had some redneck in you. And he just looked at me like I had 3 heads. What? He never even thought of the concept that, you know, I don't know, man, if you go to family reunions to pick up chicks, you might be a redneck. If you go hunting up your own grub before you go home and clean it and cook it for the family, you might be a redneck. If you like dirt tracks and mud in your beer, you might be a redneck. One of my first jobs was at an auto dismantling yard with my mother. For a year and a half, I worked at the same auto dismantling yard with my mother. You might be a redneck. Rednecks know rednecks, gangsters know gangsters. I grew up redneck, country as hell, and I know rednecks. And black redneck is a thing. So is Mexican redneck. Apparently, so is Korean redneck. John Cho, if I remember his correct name, he grew up in Tennessee. Great comedian, highly recommend him. He's funny as hell. Check him out if you ever get a chance. But yeah, rednecks not really. I mean, they're doing Thailand. In Thailand, they're doing tractor races where they're riding a thing behind a tractor in the rice fields. That's redneck as hell. I want to go do it right now. That looks fun as hell. Anyhow, rednecks all over the world. Not all white. We're not, you know, but yeah, a lot of the white rednecks are dickheads. No matter how you're going to slice it, a lot of us are kind of dickheads. I got to work on myself too. So let's work on each other. You know, I don't know what y'all have problems with, but whatever you got problems with, work on that. Don't work on everything all at once. Just focus on one thing. And God bless. I'm all done for tonight. Have a good night, everybody.